All right, what's up, everybody? This is Bo with Kramer Events. We are an event production house and DJ company out here in California. And we happen to have our hands on our new QSC CB10 speaker. So we're going to look at that today and go over it and kind of compare how we would use it. It sounds pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I had doubts that a battery powered speaker would sound great on the low end. We've heard a few other ones and we were worried about that. This actually sounds, it's on par with some of the stuff we've heard from the K series speakers. So sound is great, but even still we weren't paying much attention to it yet because although it's a battery powered speaker, it doesn't have power output. So how are you going to power the microphones? How are you going to use it in a realistic setting like a wedding ceremony? I'll show you. They actually showed me a way where it can be used, and it's very intriguing. So we'll go into that. But first, I want to show you what our typical ceremony setup is for a DJ house like us. A ceremony system. This is our ceremony system. Normally, we'd put a facade around it and clean it up a little bit, but these are the components of it. We've got a couple of microphones, the SLXD Shure microphones, half-wave antenna, so we know it has a strong signal, K8 speaker. You've got your mixer and everything there, your mics, everything's self-contained here. If we need to make it a battery-powered solution, we've got to bring a Jackery, right, or some sort of battery, and now we can go mobile and not worry about it. But even such, we still have cables. We've got all these bags that we've got to store it in, so it is quite the setup. It's about a 15-minute setup. We've got all this stuff. 15-minute teardown. If we want to move it into a cocktail hour location, it's going to take a minute to just take it down and move it over. But it's what we live with. It's pretty tried and true. It works. Again, we were reluctant to think that this is going to be a great option for us because it doesn't have any access to mics that it can power. And so what we found was this little guy over here, and this is a Sennheiser EWDP835, and it's pretty cool. It's small enough where, and it actually has magnets on it, so it can magnetize and connect to the back here. Or you can, if you want, which we'd probably do, is put it up higher, and you can either Velcro it or find some way to have it up there so it's higher up and can transmit over people's heads. And then and this is battery powered. So it will, it allows this whole unit to be battery powered and not need any sort of extra power or Jackery or anything like that. The speaker, you got two different lines in for different microphones, so we could plug two microphones in here and have it work, one right here, one over here. You've also got your stereo, your aux stereo jack here, so you can put your laptop, iPad, plug it into here. So for us, this checks a lot of our boxes, and if you even throw a laptop stand or some sort of iPad stand here, this could be one self-contained unit, which is pretty intriguing. We tested this particular mic against our mic system, and it was pretty close. Our existing mics, the SLXDs, went a little farther, but the Sennheiser was almost as good. I mean, even, it held up to it pretty close in our test here. I'd like to test it in a realistic setting with people when it's going through bodies and the hip of the officiant and all the things to make sure this can actually have the transmission we need in a real setting. But I got to say, this is very appealing to look at. And if you're starting to do wedding ceremonies and you're looking at what system to buy and you're looking at different options, this is definitely something I would consider, because you could get this and a couple of mics and you have a very slim presentation. You could put it anywhere. You set up in seconds. You got to deal with maybe bringing it home and have a charging station for it. That's about the only thing you got to remember to do. But it's fast, it moves fast, sets up fast, and it's frankly less expensive when you factor in all the parts and all the things that are associated with a traditional system. So something to look at. I wanted to show you guys because this is a really cool, exciting new time that opens up some possibilities, and it's definitely something you should know about. So again, if you're considering what ceremony system to get, I definitely think the CB10 and some battery-powered mics are a great option to consider. Thanks for listening.